JTV reporter Sean Rose is on the scene, and a lot of exciting things happening this week, and he's going to talk to us about the stories that's going to make it in the headlines this week. Sean, what's up?
Greetings, Edgeronka. Greetings, viewers. Let's begin with excitement, as you say. The Virgin Islands Festivals and Fairs Committee Chairman Marvin Blyden informing us that the 2013 festival report activities is incomplete. And he claims that the Virgin Gorda Easter Festival Committee report is the one that's holding up the process. He was speaking recently at a press conference, and when asked about that report, he said that there are some hiccups that have contributed to the delay in having that report completed. But the former chairman, Mr. Vanderpool over there on Virgin Gorda, Rupert Vanderpool, says that's not the case. He says that the report was actually submitted on April 25th, 2013, and there were subsequent submissions probably to make some edits and changes to that report. However, he is saying that the chairman of the Festivals and Fairs Committee should not be saying that the Virgin Gorda Committee did not submit a report. And of course, based on what he said, he's quite right. In fact, we here at JTV, we have a copy of that report, and we have concluded, based on the figures given, that the Virgin Gorda Committee, they had a total income of $202,000, $269, and they spent just around $202,165 as well, a net loss of $104. So basically, they broke even, you may say. But based on what Mr. Blyden is suggesting, and you will hear in this clip, that's not the case. So I don't know where you stand on this, Edgeronka. I believe that we may hear that clip at a later stage as we move on in the interest of time.
Well, I don't know. It's not such a big issue to me. I don't know why it's such a big issue in the press, but it seems to me that with modern technology and the QuickBooks programs and the various accounting programs, it should be fairly easy to get a accounting report out. So I mean, I don't know everything about. I'm not into figures, and I don't know anything about accounting at all. But I don't know why is it such a difficult thing, and why this back and forth over the report. The festival is Virgin Gorda Festival is upon us. The August Festival, the Emancipation Celebration, is right around the corner. We should have had these things straightened out, I think, long ago.
It's almost a year, and the reason that Mr. Blyden gave is what I think probably aroused much interest, because he's suggesting that the process of changing the signatories to the bank accounts may have delayed this process and actually kept the report back. So that could be one of the main reasons why many people are very concerned about it.
Yeah.
We may have an opportunity to hear that clip from Mr. Blyden before we move on to another exciting topic.
Well, basically, you have to understand what happened last year is that as you know, when you take over from somebody, you just can't walk into the bank and get documents like that. And that was one of our biggest setbacks, because moving from one person name on the account to the other take a lot of time. The bank it's not like years ago. So those are some of the things that we are faced with, and as soon as we get that over, we will work on it.
So a lack of accountability didn't dominate or doesn't dominate this report?
Well, no, because looking at the basic report from most of the subcommittees, everything seems to be on track. It's just it just have to put together with the final stage.
So there are some pluses you can take away from that comment. He's saying that things are looking pretty good based on the preliminary reports, which again really creates that misconception about what happened with the Virgin Gorda report. But he may have a chance to redeem himself on Thursday when the Festivals and Fairs Committee holds a press conference. Moving right along.
Seems like much ado about nothing.
Moving right along. Accountability is very important. In fact, that was part of their theme last year. The National Health Insurance Plan. We know that we are moving closer to the implementation stage of this wonderful plan, if I may say so. However, some members of the House of Assembly had different views, and in fact, the First District Representative Honorable Andrew Foy says that millions of dollars are owed to the Social Security Board, and he is not so confident that with the coming on stream of the NHI, businesses across the territory would be keeping up with their payments to the Social Security Board or, in fact, the NHI. Any views on that? Are you?
Yeah, well, we know and we acknowledge that the Social Security Board is one of the better run boards in the territory. And, you know, in all things, big businesses, you have challenges like that, collecting money. Big organizations have challenges collecting money. You know, money, it's a general challenge. I don't think that it's something that's unsurmountable, and I don't see it as a big major issue, even though the money needs to be collected. And Social Security is mounted a very aggressive campaign over the last several months to collect the money. As a matter of fact, you have a person in court right now who didn't pay the Social Security for the employees, and letters went out to a number of people in the community who were not paying, businesses who were not paying their Social Security. And so there are systems in place to collect the money, and Social Security has been aggressively pursuing their money. I'm happy that NHI will finally pass through the House, and we can start that process, because we really cannot continue to fund healthcare costs the way we've been doing it over the past several decades. So then, you know, with the escalating costs, it definitely needs to go up.
And the minister made a point today in his wrapping up. He said that the NHI plan would actually help to ease the burden on residents as they seek to access healthcare services, whether locally or overseas. And that's a very fundamental point, because many people here in this territory don't have health insurance and find it very difficult to access healthcare, especially when the cases are very expensive to you know, to secure them.
Yeah, it definitely will give greater access. It'll improve quality, and with the coming on stream of the National Strategy for the Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Chronic Diseases, it should become even more sustainable over the years as we begin to change our behavior and eat healthy and exercise and start taking responsibility, personal responsibility for our own health. So I'm excited about it personally. It disturbed me that some of the members of the House said that there were no consultations, or they
two members in particular.
Yeah, they couldn't get information, and they don't have any information. I mean, there was information everywhere. There was information on every radio station, every television station, all the newspapers, all the online media. There was an office that continually give out his phone number. There's a website, you know, and if they wanted information, certainly, if the government didn't give them the information was there to be asked for. And if you say you're representing your people and you need information in order to defend them, certainly if who you consider to be your opposition doesn't give you that information, I think it's your responsibility to go and get that information. And if you have all these grand ideas of how things should work, there was an opportunity to make those representations to the office. And you should, the Mr. Foy should have been saying to in the House today, I have made representations to the NHI team about these issues, and I got no redress. So
let's look at one of his ideas today. He's saying that the idea should have been put out to private insurance companies and allow them to offer these services to the territory. I mean, insurance companies are in it for making a profit.
Yeah, well, yeah, and the whole program of NHI is to have to get access to healthcare, quality healthcare access to everyone, regardless of what the risk factors are.
What, no matter your precondition.
And your ability to pay.
Yes.
So certainly that does not bode well with a private company. You know,
and it's also important to note that you can access services even though you're not actually working at the time.
Well, you know, there's always a challenge, Sean, with a social program in a capitalist system. And I think that's where the representative is getting a little, you know, mixed up in that area. But
the discussion is ongoing. I think that, you know, it's a very important development for the territory and for all residents, all legal residents. So the discussion shouldn't end. However, we take note that the minister, before they went into the committee of the whole house to discuss the act, decided that, well, he indicated, I should say, that the implementation should roll out sometime around October this year. And I'm sure a few variables would affect that, but it sounds as though by the end of this year we should have the NHI plan in effect.
Yeah. Well, this is a history-making event, and it's as great an event as Social Security was when that was implemented. Social Security, NHI actually is to health what Social Security is to retirement,
right.
And they're both very important programs, for social programs for the community.
And the opposition leader, if I may
necessary.
interject, did support it, and he pointed to historical factors around what you're talking about, the introduction of Social Security, some changes to that in the.
So we're looking forward to its implementation, and we're looking forward to a successful and sustainable NHI, National Health Insurance System, along, of course, with the increasing healthy population.
Our time is up.
We gotta go. With, two great stories, and of course, my favorite, health and social development. We're gonna take a break.
Spotlight is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, the BVI Tourist Board, and CCT Global Communications.